Hey guys, WantClue here. I hope all of you are doing really well. Today we have another review. Today we want to take a look on the BitBox 02 in the Bitcoin only edition. We want to take a look closer what is inside the box, do a little unboxing, and then go over the documentation as well as the firmware and what kind of software you can use with it. So let's get started and right into it. So let's take a closer look on what is inside the packaging. You do know this one here is in a plastic bag, and this is done by purpose. The reason for that is if you do purchase yourself a BitBox, you want to make sure that nobody has any sort of access to this and somebody installed some malicious software or anything on it. What you can do is you can notice that this package here, this plastic bag, has not been opened and it has been sealed. And this is how it comes out of the factory, and this is your way to verify that this one has not been opened by any third party, for example. As well as you do get in the packaging a little thank you note with a handwritten welcome to the BitBox family, which is nice. And lastly, in there is also the Bitcoin white paper and a couple of cool notes and other things. So it is a nice introduction into Bitcoin if you do get that. And now let's quickly unbox this. Now we have broken the seal and we want to take a closer look on the inside. So what do we have? We have the packaging in general, BitBox 02, Bitcoin only edition. It is a USB-C hardware wallet, and you can just slide it out here. So let's put this to the side and let's open it. Tap, slide, hold. Okay, this is so basically the initial instruction on how to use it, and you can unfold it. Okay, this looks really nice, to be honest. So we do see plenty of things. We have the BitBox in here, which does have like a small sticker on top of it with CE and FCC certificate. Great. Let's put it to the side for now. A small SD card, probably for plenty of features and backups and whatnot. And down here, let's take this out. We do have plenty more things. I don't see anything else in here. It doesn't seem to be that there's anything else. So we can close the packaging and we can take a look on that. So here we do have a USB-C male to female adapter, as well as we do have a USB-A to USB-C connector and a couple of these key holder thingies. Great. So we have a little get started here. What do we see in here? Getting started. So first off, you need to download the BitBox app. If I'm not mistaken, this app or the software that they do have is for PC and for Android. They don't have anything for iOS yet, if I'm not mistaken, but we will take a closer look on the documentation and the software anyway in this video. So yeah, this is really nice. Let's take a closer look. We do have a couple of stickers. BitBox holding, all right, nice stickers. We don't need them right yet. And I'm sorry, here we do have, yeah, when it was produced on the 30th of July this year. If I am not mistaken, I should be able to see somewhere a recovery sheet. Let's take a second look inside the box. Maybe I missed something in here. We can pull out this one and I don't see anything. Ah, that's nice. Do you see that? There's like a little cow underneath. That's great. Okay, there is no recovery sheet in here, which is not bad because we do have our own sheets. So this right here is the BitBox. It is small. It does have a micro USB card slot there. Here you can put in the keychain holder and we can remove the cover from the screen. So that is basically it. If we now also remove the cover from the USB-C connector, it looks kind of interesting, to be honest. I mean, it is in a plastic housing. It does its job. We will later also dive into the documentation where we can take a closer look on the inside. But now what we want to do is we want to hop over to the PC and take a look on what we can do with the software. I do have a Linux PC. If you do have Windows, the steps should be similar, but yeah, I assume everything else will look the same. So let's move over and let's take a closer look on what we can do with it. Alrighty, I'm already on the BitBox page, but I want to quickly put it in for the first time. BitBox 02 Bitcoin only edition. Let's get started. See BitBox app. Okay, nothing to do here. So we need to get the app. So that will be done on the PC. All right, let's start with the first things that we need to do. So the first thing, if you do want to get started, is you need to get the BitBox app. And they do have it for Linux, for Mac, for Windows. So what you want to do is go to the web page bitbox.swiss/start. And then you can download it. In my case, I already downloaded it for the Linux distribution that I do use. And what we want to do is we want to scroll down and take a look on what we can see here. So download and install the BitBox app using the links above. Insert the micro SD card into your BitBox. Plug in your BitBox into your computer or phone. Open the BitBox app and follow the on-screen instructions to install firmware and set up your BitBox 2. All right, let's open up the BitBox app and let's do that. All right, what do we have here? Welcome. Let's get started by installing the firmware on your Bitaxe 02. Install firmware. And it is installing. I already do see it on my BitBox 02. Like the same screen that I do see here is also on the BitBox 02. All right, installation successful. Please connect your device to get started. Verify pairing code. So if you do connect the BitBox for the first time to your PC, it will ask you for the verification code if you do open up the BitBox app. And what you want to make sure is as soon as you do plug it into it, you want to make sure to tap the correct side, depending on which side you tap, because both of these sides, like the top here and the bottom, both of them are touch capacitive. It will rotate the screen depending on your orientation. So let's say you hold it like this and you plug it in, and now if it asks you to tap the side, you tap the bottom side because you want to read it like that. If you tap the top side, you need to rotate it. And then the first thing that we need to do is we need to verify the pairing code that we do see on the display of the BitBox as well as on the BitBox app screen here. Create a wallet, advanced options, restore from micro SD card, restore from recovery words. So now we do have the option to actually set up our wallet. For the demonstration purposes, I quickly want to create a wallet and never use it afterwards again. But yeah, let's quickly do that. Let's name it BitBox, my BitBox, test, video, continue, confirm name on the BitBox, test video. I'm sorry, I aborted it. Test video. Here we go, continue. Yes. Set a password. Use the controls on the BitBox 02 to set a password. All right. That is quite nice. Repeat password. Okay, just set a password to ABCD now. And now it's been locked and unlocking here. Before proceeding, please read the important instructions. I should store my backup in a secure location. And for that, I already do have a seed door backup vault that I can use where I can stamp in my seed phrase. So if you want to get one, check out the video description down below. You can find one in there. My backup is not password protected. Anyone with access to it can access my wallet. Yeah, I know. If I lose or damage my BitBox C2, the only way to recover my funds is to restore from my backup. Okay. If I lose or damage both my backup and my BitBox C2, then my funds will be lost. Yeah, of course, I do know that. Let's check that. And I should not insert my micro SD card backup into a computer, phone, printer, or any device other than a BitBox. That's interesting. You're ready to go. Get started. Keep the micro SD card stored separate from the BitBox unless you want to manage backups. You can buy... that's it? I'm already done. That was easy. Literally, how many minutes did this take? Like 2 minutes because I needed to read all the stuff? That is insane. So it's already set up. I don't want to spend anything or do like receiving and then transaction and stuff like that. I don't want to do that. But let's quickly discover this app. So it seems like it is synchronizing blocks in the background, as we can see here. we do get this info that I should remove the micro SD card. Okay, let me remove that. So this has now been removed. I think it will work without the micro SD card. All right, let's go to buy and sell. What can we find in here? So we can obviously sell directly to our BitBox, but I'm not really interested in that. We can pick up a insurance for it, up to 100,000 euros. Interesting. And let's go into settings. So what do we have here? Language, default currency, active currencies, dark mode, display BTC value in Satoshi. Okay, allow hiding amounts, expert nodes, create a backup of your transaction nodes and account names. That's interesting. Import nodes, okay. Manage accounts. So we do have this one here, connected wallet. We can manage the device, create a verify microSD card backup. Okay, show recovery words. Let's do that. I've read the information above. Yes. Never share your recovery words with anyone. Your recovery words will give full access to your wallet. Unlock device. Okay, I can do that by typing in the password on the BitBox again. And now I do see my recovery words on the BitBox display. So I don't even see it on here on the display. I see it on, I don't see it on the notebook here that I'm using. I only see it on the BitBox. BitBox name, we can always change that. Good, what else do we have? We have a secure chip. It is so cool that they even write down what kind of secure chip they use. And that's also one of the things I need to say. It is absolutely amazing about the BitBox that basically everything about it is open source. And this will also be the next part about the BitBox, that we want to take a closer look on the documentation and what they have published. But before we do that, let's quickly go over all the other things here. So root fingerprint, unique identifier for the wallet. We can set a passphrase. We can show the BIP 85 child key. We can do a factory reset, which I will do after this video. Let's go into advanced settings, enable custom fees. Of course, you want to do that. Enable Tor proxy, connect to your own full node. This is cool. So it is currently to BTC1 shiftcrypto.io via TLS. I definitely recommend to connect this to your own Electrum server. If you do have one, let's go into advanced settings again, export logs. So if there's anything going on, you can even export the logs. Let's say, for example, there's some sort of communication mismatch happening between your wallet and your PC via USB. So this would be, I guess, a way to see what's going on. And let's take a look into about firmware version or the app version of this here. All right, you should be able to use Sparrow as well with your BitBox. So I want to quickly make sure to get up Sparrow and take a look on that. So here we go. I now have opened up Sparrow and I clicked on scan for connected devices and it says BitBox 02 unlock import key store importing. So let's see, we name it just BitBox 02, create wallet. We give it a password, set password, and we should be ready to go, right? Yeah, it's already there. I can already control it with my BitBox. This is super fancy and super cool. I really need to say that. So from the usage, unboxing, and initially getting started with the device, I'm not 100% sure if you actually do need the BitBox app to set it up. Maybe this is also possible with other apps such as Sparrow, because you just need to initialize it. Maybe not, I don't know. But either way, it is absolutely fantastic how quick this works and how easy it is to set it up, because you only tap, you slide, you hold, and there you go. Sure, a couple of you might be concerned about the fact that you need to connect it to a PC of yours, but this is a discussion that you might have with friends of yours for many hours if it makes sense to have a cold storage wallet or not. This one here needs to be connected to a PC, but even then you could use it in a cold storage way if you do have a PC that is not connected to the internet. But nevertheless, let's hop over and let's take a look on their documentation and what they do provide. Alrighty, here we go. The first page that we want to take a look on is the bitbox.swiss, basically their main page, their landing page. I don't really want to go in detail over this app or over this web page, because you can take a look on there yourself if you want to get a couple of information, but they do have definitely a couple of good information about what it is, what it can do with it, what it lacks or what it does good. So yeah, do your own due diligence and research, please. They have a ton of updates, for example, the 11/2024 Zambuku update. So they do regularly updates on the BitBox and on the features that are enabled with the BitBox. So I definitely and highly recommend you guys to take a look on their blog, which you can find under bitbox.swiss/blog. And just take a look in there. You can use the app or whatever you like. So this is definitely a nice thing to look at. So here we go. Here we are on the correct page. So you can read all the blogs and entries in German, Italian, and English, of course, whatever you prefer. I needed a second to find the actual English one, so whatever. So this is their main page. They do have a couple of reviews on here. Of course, if you're interested in that, you can take a look on that. I highly recommend you to check it out yourself. If you want to watch a couple of updates or a couple of videos about the BitBox, because it is always good to have multiple people getting multiple opinions. Some people are more onto the tech side, other people just want anything that is easy to use. But yeah, I really need to say it is needed that you do your own research and figure out if you like this or not. Let's now move over to the developer resources, which is quite insane because they do provide a ton of information on how to use the BitBox, how to use the BitBox app, how to integrate with third-party apps, and so on. So even an integration, if let's say, for example, you would now develop a new website or a new web tool, web app, whatever you want to call it, and in there you want the ability that people can connect their BitBox to your web app. They even provide you the resources that you do need to do that, which is fantastic. And I do believe one of the greatest ways of actually doing open source development and selling products that are just great. And to be honest, the BitBox really, sure, with its like plastic casing, some of you might say it feels a little bit cheap, but I don't think so. It is actually a nice one. So you can take a look on the architecture if you want to. And furthermore, they do provide basically all the information that you do need. They tell you all the components that they do use on their devices, as well as where you can find all the repositories, because the firmware is open source, the BitBox wallet app is open source, as well as the bridge is open source. So basically everything is open source, and you can take a look on all the things that you want to look at. And if I'm not mistaken, they also have libraries on Go, Rust, Python, JavaScript. So integrations and implementations of the BitBox in all the apps is super straightforward. They also do have here a couple of example integrations, for example, Rebby, MEW, Adonide. I mean, if you're into that, I'm not. And of course, there are plenty of things what you can do with a BitBox. Get a developer's BitBox. Okay, this is really cool. So if you are a developer, you even get one from them if you want to. All right, enough of their website. Let's hop over into a little bit more techie stuff here. We do have their GitHub. They do have multiple repos. Let's go back here. BitBox wallet app, BitBox API, BitBox bridge, recovery. So basically everything that they do have is open source here on GitHub, which is awesome. What I want to take a look on is the firmware, because what you can do with the firmware is you can run it yourself. You can compile it yourself. They even suggested to you that you do that and that you upload this firmware instead of relying on downloading from their servers, because this would obviously increase your security feeling, and therefore it is probably a nice to have feature, but it is definitely a good feature. They also provide you all the information that you do need in here, as well as more or less everything else. In here, under the BitBox 02 firmware tree, you will also find a folder called releases, and in there is a markdown file to reproduce builds, which is great so that you can verify also with the SHA key if it is correct. So you can check it on the SHA key if the firmware that you build is actually the one that they do provide you. So if this is the same key, then everything is good. You do see an example here. This is a little bit more on the technical side, but it is definitely a nice thing to do and to check out if you want to do that. One last thing I want to share with you is an X-ray of the BitBox. So in here you do see all the components that are on the BitBox, and providing this to the community in general, like in this open source manner, like, hey, take a look. Everything that we do, that we have, is here to look at. If you want to do that, go for it. Everything is available. I'll make sure to get as many links in the description as possible so that you can look into everything that you do want. And the BitBox itself is just an amazing one. They have a great quote on their website, which states, let's go down to open source, hide nothing by open sourcing everything, including the firmware on the BitBox 02, the BitBox app, and X-rays of the hardware schematics. It is, yes, everything is out there. You can take a look on the schematics, you can take a look on the hardware, on everything. So they have nothing to hide, literally, and everything is just there for you to feel and be as secure as possible while using a BitBox. The only issue that is there is you. You are the only issue left, because now if you do any issues or if you do any wrong things, for example, you do show a friend of yours your private key, then you are the security issue. If you try to sign transactions or read your private key in a public environment, then you are the issue. So I'd say from the device and what I've done with it right now, like setting it up, testing the app, checking it out, connecting it to Sparrow, it is straightforward. It is super simple and super easy. And I really need to say, I like it. The question that now arises to you is probably, is the BitBox any good? And I need to say it is definitely fantastic. I've used a couple of other and reviewed a couple of other hardware wallets, and most of them, they do what they are supposed to do. They do have their secure element. They store the private key on this secure element. They do provide you with basic features of using it. But when it comes to hardware wallets, my biggest concern was using a hardware wallet for multi-signature wallets. And the BitBox itself does feature this perfectly. I've tested it already, and my goal with this conclusion and with this lookout for future videos is to tell you that I'm looking to do more videos about the BitBox, because I need to say, comparing this to other hardware wallets such as Tangem, which does not feature any multi-signature, or the Keystone 3 Pro, which does have bugs in it, it is definitely needed to do videos about it. And I think it is a good idea to show you more about it, go a little bit deeper into the documentation, and take a look on what this device offers apart from just being your Bitcoin wallet. Because in the end, most of you will probably say, well, it is just another Bitcoin hardware wallet. Sure, that's a thing, but the important part about it is, what does it feature? And this one here is completely open source, from the hardware to the software, everything. You can look it up, you can do your own research on that, and I highly recommend you guys to do so. I'll make sure to post all the links to all the necessary stuff in the video description down below, so that you can get yourself one, as well as you want to get yourself one of these hardware wallets. I'll also put a link for that into the description. So I'm looking forward to do more videos about the BitBox and guide you through steps that probably most of the other reviewers haven't done. So till then, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on further videos, and see you in the next one.